Local Pennsylvania schools are facing a massive budget shortage, while the state itself continues to fund corporate welfare. Now, this is according to the Pennsylvania Watchdog. Now, there's an Erie School District that is short about $30 million this year and is asking the state for the money to basically fund basic school programs, as well as to help close their budget shortfall. Now, if they don't do this, of course, they would be subjected to devastating cuts. So basically, the school needs $30 million to function without cuts. Okay, well, however, the newest budget put out by Democratic Governor Tom Wolf happens to only allocate $1.5 million towards the Erie School District. They need 30, they're getting 1.5. Yikes. It's not very much, man. Hey, but look at it, man. You got to look at the situation. Pennsylvania, you got to tighten your belts, right? I mean, there's a jobs crisis. Things aren't going very well there. In fact, Pennsylvania for the last few years has actually ranked near the bottom of job creation. I mean, at one point in 2014, they ranked 50th in job creation in America. So they're not doing very well. So look, you could make an argument and say, man, we'd love to do it, but right now, we literally don't have the money. We don't have the revenue. Okay, so they don't have the money to fund education. But look at what they do have the money for. Wolf's budget includes $250 million in subsidies for the state's horse racing industry and billions more in corporate welfare for private sector businesses. And to that I say, oops. I guess when it comes to big corporations, man, they're more than happy to cough up enough money. But education, sorry, man, you're on your own. You need to make some devastating cuts because that's exactly what's going to happen. And unfortunately, Democrats and Republicans in the state are both very unwilling to stop funding this corporate welfare. Erie lawmakers, as spoke with watchdog.org, say that while they continue to push for more aid for local schools, like Erie, for the most part, they're just fine with the status quo and want to continue preserving the corporate subsidies. Republican State Senator Dan Laughlin told watchdog.org that finding enough money for Erie is number one on my to-do list. Oh, well, hey, that's great. He said everything should be looked at. He said in regard to cutting spending elsewhere, but he said, I'm unsure of the economic impact of taking too much out of the horse race fund. The horse race fund. Now, that of course, was echoed by Democratic Representative Florindo Fabrizio. While saying that he wants to help fund the schools, he too warned that lawmakers have to be, quote, very careful about raiding the horse racing fund. Now, look at the conversation that we're having here. We have horse racing versus education. Gambling entertainment versus a child's future. There should be zero questions. Raid that motherfucker. Raid it. Genghis Khan that shit. That's what I'd do. Look, it is $30 million out of nearly $250 million for the horse racing. You know what would happen if you took that $30 million out of the horse race fund? It would still have $220 million left, and you wouldn't have to slash education. Come on. Fabrizio continues. I'm not saying we can't look at it, he said, while arguing that the $250 million a year subsidy, quote, provides a lot for the Commonwealth. I'm sure it does. According to Biz Journal, Pennsylvania's horse racing industry does generate $1.6 billion in annual economic activity and supports nearly 23,000 jobs. However, this is at a huge drain to the taxpayers. That tax money, man, it could be spent in better places. Now, since 2004, Pennsylvania has provided about $250 million annually to fund horse racing, including cash prizes, mostly won by people that aren't even from Pennsylvania. According to the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review, millions of dollars have gone to people from around the world, including a Saudi prince and the Prime Minister of the United Arab Emirates. So those are the people that are getting this $250 million by winning the cash prize. So they take the money of the taxpayers, right? And then they put it up as a purse for horse racing. Oh, make your bets, make your bets. If you win, $250 million to the Saudi prince over there. Instead of funding education. This is insanity. It's not even going back into the local economy. Regular working people don't have the money to bet on horse races. Yet they're paying for it. This is grotesque. Now you have Bob Dick, who has an interesting name, who's a senior policy analyst with Commonwealth Foundation. Now, that's more of a right-wing sort of libertarianish think tank, I believe. Now, he criticized the subsidies. And he said, quote, if an industry is healthy, it shouldn't have to rely on government subsidies to thrive. Well, I would agree for the most part, except if you have a growing industry, something that does need a little help to get off the ground. I don't think horse racing needed a little help to get off the ground. It's been around forever. But it does need help, apparently. Now, he said, even with $250 million in subsidies each year, the racing industry has still seen a decline in attendance, wagers, and the number of breeders. So basically what you have here is a failing industry. People are not interested anymore, being propped up by government at the expense of the education for their children. This is what they have. This is what's going on. And according to the Commonwealth Foundation, Pennsylvania has spent $6 billion on corporate welfare since 2007. That is more than any other state in the union. They have spent more money than anybody on propping up corporations. So what did they get for this? Well, what did they get for that? Also, according to that same report, the $800 million on corporate welfare in just 2016, 2017, just 1 year, $800 million. What did they get for this? Not a lot. They are still 35th in job creation. And these subsidies haven't helped create new jobs, haven't helped fix the income disparity. It hasn't brought more income into the state coffers. No. This corporate welfare has done nothing. Dick. In all, Pennsylvania spent twice as much as the fourth and fifth highest corporate welfare spenders combined, both of which have larger populations in Pennsylvania, because of course the fourth and fifth happen to be Texas and New York. So, look, the corporations, they are raking it in at your expense, while the Erie School District needs $30 million and faces a $10 million deficit in the upcoming school year. Now, they needed $10 million to fill their budget hole. The extra $20 million, we're going to actually go into supplies and a little bit of renovation to make the school not fall apart. Can't do that, though. Now, here I have a quote from Erie School District Chief Financial Officer Brian Polito. Polito will transition to the role of superintendent. Now, he said that, quote, there is nothing much left to cut that isn't going to be devastating. The cuts could extend to eliminating arts, music, extracurricular activities, and other areas. So basically, again, and we're seeing this all over the country, let's eliminate arts so that we can continue to give these big corporations more money. Let's get rid of all the stuff that actually makes you a better, well-rounded person and teaches you things like critical thinking. Let's get rid of all of that because rich people need a little bit more money so we could prop up another giant corporation. Okay. Crony capitalism, man. And I don't care if a Republican does it. I don't care if a Democrat does it. We need to stop giving subsidies to companies that don't need it. Now, I understand startups, again, new technologies, but we're talking about horse racing. Horse racing. Little horsies running around. Ridiculous. No, you know what we need to do? We need to prioritize education so that these kids can grow up with opportunity, create new jobs, and add to the economy instead of prioritizing corporate profits in the name of jobs. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.